If you're considering a refinance of your property, you may be wondering how long the entire process is going to take. So in today's lesson, I'm going to give you all the details of what to expect and some things you can do specifically to speed up the process and make it go as quick as possible. Hi, this is Robert Weinberg, and on this channel we help individuals to achieve financial freedom through expert mortgage and financial strategies. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click the like button or subscribe button. Also hit the bell so you get notified on all of our future content. So in this lesson today, I want to talk about how long that it takes to refinance and a little bit of things that you can do to speed up the process. So it really depends on a couple different factors up front that we don't have control over. Things like loan volume, the amount of people that are trying to refinance at the same time you are, which is affected by economic things like home values and interest rates, whether they're going up or down. So you need to take that into consideration. Now, my experience with most of my clients is that the big banks, like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citizens Bank, and whatever big bank in your area, these are typically going to be lenders that do a lot of different types of loans. Not only mortgages, but they're doing auto loans, they're doing personal loans, they're doing checking accounts, savings accounts, all these different things. So these are the lenders that typically when it comes time to refinance, they're going to be bogged down the most and not have the staff to accommodate it to where it's going to take a lot longer process when you're dealing with one of those big banks versus an independent mortgage banker or an independent mortgage broker. Those are individuals that specialize in mortgages. They typically have staffing that's able to handle loan volume that they can bring in and out depending on the loan volume that they're receiving, which makes the process, normally speaking, go a lot quicker when you're working with an independent mortgage broker or a banker versus a large bank. So keep that in mind. Now, the two things that are going to take the longest during the refinance process is going to be an appraisal, if one is required, as well as a title search. So technology can definitely help with these things, but in most cases, still, appraisals are going to be required during a refinance process, and appraisers are real individuals that are going to have to go out to a property, whether it be a drive-by appraisal or a full interior and exterior appraisal, and they have schedules and other things going on. So an appraisal process can add 1 to 2 weeks during the refinance to the total timeline. The title search as well is not completely automated for technology just yet, so an actual person is going to need to go and do a title search on your property. So both of these items can take 1 to 2 weeks, and normally they'll be being done at the same time. So while the appraisal is going on, the title search will also be done in the background. Now, technology, like I said, is crucial for speeding it up. In some cases, if you've had an appraisal done of your property in the last couple years, you may be eligible for a PIW, or property inspection waiver, and that can shave a week or two off the process because, again, no appraisal will be required in that case. Regardless of that, e-signing your documents instead of wet signing all of them, collecting documents online, doing verifications of employment and income and those sort of things can really enhance and speed up the loan processing. And these are things that have really only come about in the last couple years. Now, the number one thing that you can do as a consumer and as a homeowner to speed up the process of your refinance is communication with your lender during the processing of your loan. So there are going to be some things up front that are going to be required to validate and get your loan approved, like your income, asset documentation, and whatnot. You're going to want to get all that to your lender as soon as possible to get the process going. And then typically sometime in the middle of the loan process, there may be additional requests for documentation from you by underwriting. So when these documentation requests are given to you by your mortgage advisor or loan processor, you're going to want to get these taken care of as soon as possible. Typically within 24 to 48 hours of them being requested, you want to get that information back to your lender right away. That'll keep this process moving forward while these other things are going on in the background that we talked about earlier. That can be a big determining factor of whether your loan closes on the lower end side of things or if it drags out for a couple months based on your responsiveness to your lender. Now, the other thing that's really out of our control is the Trig Rules. Now, these came out several years back, and these require that the lender discloses the final numbers to you at least 3 business days before closing. So they will contact you, they'll go over the final numbers, they'll send you a disclosure, typically electronically on your email, that you'll have to consent to receiving, and you cannot close on your refinance until 3 business days have passed after you actually acknowledge receipt of that disclosure. So that can add, as you would imagine, several days to the process regardless. So the total timeline, start to finish, typically right now is 30 to 45 days when you're dealing with an independent mortgage banker or broker like myself. If you're going with a large bank or credit union for refinancing, I've heard right now they're running anywhere from 60 to 90 days on the shorter end, all the way up to 120 days on the higher end. Just because rates are so low right now, home values are up, and they're just bogged down with a lot of volume. So typical timeline should be in that 30 to 45 day window, and can be as little as 3 weeks if you actually get like a property inspection waiver, get all the documents to your lender really quickly. We're closing a lot of loans in as little as 3 weeks, even including that 3 business day TRID disclosure process that has to be done there at the end. So I really hope that this helps you and you understand what the process is and how long it can take to refinance. Also realize that no matter who you use to refinance, you're going to have a 3-day right of rescission if it's on a primary residence. So after you sign your final loan documents in front of a notary or attorney, 3 business days are going to have to pass before they'll actually disperse out the funds for your loan, including paying off your current mortgage, paying off any debt you may be including, or any cash disbursements to you. Appreciate you watching, and please go ahead and share this with others who may benefit. You can comment, like, subscribe to my channel for more, and also check me out on my other social media channels where we publish out great content like this every single week. Call or text my office directly or private message me if I can be of assistance to you, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.